Hello all. Right, I'm on my break, so I've got time to quickly squeeze this one in. Chris C asked me to do this one. Like I said, guys, I'm falling behind, so I do apologise for that. Jobs that turn around and say, we need you to take the packaging away. You take your empty pallets away, take the rubbish away. You've got to bear in mind, potential minefield, not necessarily a minefield. It kind of depends on how much packaging there is. Also depends on the size of your vehicle. But to be on the safe side, work on the idea you're going to get left with a lot. When I used to do the kidney machines, they'd want you to deliver, you might deliver 6 machines, they'd want you to unwrap it. Take the cardboard. When we used to do the sofas for DFS, for Martin, Mr. Selfridge, you'd end up with a lot of stuff left over. Now with DFS it wasn't a problem, because when you went back to DFS to do your second run or your first run, you could leave it there. You were entitled to leave it there. Don't get yourself in a situation where you can be bottled up with a gear. Now, bear in mind, if it's pallets you can get rid of. You can stack pallets if you've got a yard or somewhere or a garage or, you know, on a driveway. You can stack your pallets up there. Once you've got enough of them, there are pallet places around. You can take them into the pallet place. They will take them off you. The chances are they won't pay a lot. Even on a decent pallet, they might pay £2.50, £3. You could go in with a truckload. Well, I've gone in before with van loads of pallets and walked out with 35 quid. I thought that was a waste of my time, wasn't it really? Like, no, that one's only got one leg, that one's broken, that one's got the wrong markings on, that one's the wrong colour. But they know what they can get from and they know what they're paying for. You know, the other things you can do, get yourself a waste carrier's licence. This costs about, you do it online, and it's very easy. You go through the steps. Al's got one, and you just run through the steps, and then they charge you so much a year. Then you can actually run in to Tidy Tips with rubbish on board. They'll weigh you in. They'll ask you what it is. Is it wood? Is it metal? Is it beds? What is it? If you're doing a house clearance, you can do the same kind of thing. Go in, they'll weigh you in, and they will charge you to get rid of it accordingly. Some things don't cost money. Some things do. I haven't got too involved in this. I know when we were doing the kidney machines, I actually went with Simple Brian, and then we come back with all the rubbish, went in there, and they just weigh you up, and then you chuck it in a skip, and it's job done. Alternatively, you know, if it's a small amount of rubbish, take it home, put it in your garage, and then on a Monday or a Saturday afternoon, when the tips are open, stick it in your car, take it down a local tidy tip. They probably won't want you to do this frequently, but if it happens once in a blue moon, it can happen. But bearing in mind that if you've got to take the pallets, you ain't going to get a lot of money from it, you're going to be charged for them. The rubbish is difficult to get rid of, charge them accordingly. When they turn around and say, must take the rubbish away with you, you go, that's absolutely fine, but I'm going to legally need to dispose of that rubbish, that's going to cost you half as much again. You have to gauge it. Like I say, it's not something I've ever done really. I didn't really, I tended to avoid jobs that said take rubbish away with you unless I knew the customer and we could talk about it beforehand. But there are your ways around it. Your best bet really is a waste carrier's licence. The problem is, with the lockdown as it stands at the moment, I think a lot of the tidy tips aren't actually letting vans in. So it's going to be a bit of a problem. Once again, alternatively, keep doing it. Stick it in your garage. When you've got enough of them, hire a skip, throw it in the skip. I'm sure once again this is wrong, or at least largely inaccurate, and there are going to be lots of people out there that are going to go, what about this, Pete? What about that, Pete? This is what you want to do, Pete, and this is why we have the channel. So I talk nonsense, people put me right, and then on Sunday I tell you what the real answers are. So anyway, that's my take on it. Like I say, it's not something I've done ever. You know, occasionally sometimes take the rubbish away with you. I have been left with pallets before out of sheer consideration. Sometimes, you know, you drop it in London and there's a couple of guys and they go, oh, I can take the pallet away, can you, mate? And I'm like, yeah. But then what tends to happen is you stick it at the front of the Luton, or in this case you stick it in the front of this thing. Unfortunately, I've now got a firm around the corner I'm doing regular work for that say, we'll take all the pallets you've got. We want them, lovely. But normally what will happen, if you've got a pallet or two on board, when you get to your next pickup or the pickup after that, you might have to stack it up against the wall. You go, can you take these pallets off me, mate? Or are these pallets any good to you, mate? I go, yeah, go on, leave them in the yard. So anyway, like I say, probably hugely wrong. Look forward to hearing your take on it. I am now going to jump back in the motor and get home. I've got 5 minutes left of my break to get home because I'm up at quarter to 4 in the morning because we're doing fridges in the truck. The fridges are back on. So I will be out doing a pile of deliveries of large American fridge freezers and taking care and taking money.